They say I'm cute, can cook, and will get you hooked.
You know me, and you already know what it is. Greatness cannot be rushed.
Two things for the soul. I never lie to you or on you.
I am the architect of my life. I build foundations and choose content.
I might be quiet, but I observe and remember everything, so watch out.
I may be heavy in his sheet, but I apply pressure to those streets.
I'm just a southern girl who means what she says and says what she means.
Yo, this is Friends and Wives Podcast. This your girl, 2K, in the building.
I had to go ahead and press that button because we're missing too much good stuff, man.
Yes, we were.
So what was you telling me about? Because, you know, I got on Delish.
KY Jelly.
KY Jelly. I got on Delish at the last episode. I said, don't tell me nothing, Delish. Your what
stuck
you call
together.
shade, specs, whatever, together. And it was real foggy and you know, greasy. And I was like, fingerprints and all that. So then they told me mine was the same way, so I had to make sure.
What did Landman?
And Landman told me. Landman told me to get some patrol. What he said?
KY Jelly.
And I said, who the hell? No, that KY Jelly.
Well, wait, hold on.
My question is,
yes.
Why do you have KY Jelly?
Because I'm a grown man. That's why. I'm a man's man.
And
I please a woman's.
Oh.
That's how a man's supposed to please a woman, with KY
Well, you
Jelly.
can't be a man's man and
Lord.
then clean.
Wait a minute.
Wait. If you a man's man, wait. Let's. A man's a man. Wait. We're gonna clear this up. A man's take care of the roses and the back and the front at the same time. That's a man's man.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. A man's man takes care of the what?
The front and the back.
And you know
What's the front?
The front is the
cooch,
front.
baby.
We don't
It's
know.
called the kangaroo
you can't
pouch.
assume that now.
It's called the kangaroo pouch.
I'm trying to think because when somebody say a man,
Yeah.
I'm confused.
A man, a grown man.
Okay.
So grown men take care of grown women.
You know what?
When you a boy man, then you take care of boy girl.
You know what? That's just like
You know what I
DB
mean?
because he always talk about anal ease. Yeah, we're back here. As you can see, we got special guests in the house. I'm so excited.
I just don't know about land. No more about land too.
Oh, he landing that damn
I
anal
learned
ease.
something else about him today, just in the last 4 minutes.
Oh, right.
He's a seller of land.
Okay.
And he's a man's of a man.
Oh.
He's
and
a
he
man.
has stock in KY Jelly. I mean,
And
he has stock.
he uses
no doubt.
KY Jelly
Yes.
To clean his specs.
because
Check
he's a
them out.
man's of a
See how clean
man.
they are? They clean.
Yeah, I see them
I'm still
1980s police
confused.
glasses.
No doubt.
I see
That's what I'm saying. Police, you know what it is.
But you know what?
12.
I'm glad that I was introduced to this because I was real confused when DB was the only person on this platform
know
that
what?
knew about anal ease.
Apparently, DB is a
And then he
man's
showed us.
man.
He said you
or a
take that
man's
thumb
woman.
and you rub it around and the anal ease relaxes the anal.
Why?
Nobody knew about that on the platform
That's
but
true.
him.
That's true. That's
You
true.
know what?
It's a
You know
science.
what?
It's a science.
Y'all so crazy.
It's technical.
Thank
You
you.
know,
But you know what? What they say? Keep living and keep learning. You'll never stop learning.
But you know what I'm gonna
Yes.
do? I'm gonna ask some other men, what's a man's man?
But hold on, before we even start, we have to introduce the people now.
And y'all, if y'all hear some background noise,
We at $71.99.
stage, baby, you'll be crazy not to visit the coop.
Yeah.
But if
No doubt,
you hear
no doubt.
some background noise, it's because we got a whole bunch of stuff going on and we're having fun. This is our Sunday fun day.
Yes.
We have visitors and we got some people that came from LA
And who we got?
and Alabama. And this is our LA man. He's got his own podcast, y'all.
Yes.
Tell us about who you are and how did you get here on today.
What's good, y'all? My name is Greg. I am the host of the Speak My Piece podcast from Compton, California. How did I end up here today? We was looking for some food. I came out to Memphis for the Lakers Grizzlies playoff game.
Okay.
And following that, you know, as black people, you have to go out and eat. So the Crazy Coop was recommended. We came here. Unfortunately, found out that they were closed.
On Sundays.
Treated with such great hospitality. They allowed us in, fixed up a plate. I'm a vegan, so I had the fried okra and I had the fries. They were bomb. My cousin had the wings. The wings were bomb as well.
Okay.
And then next thing you know, I'm sitting here on this podcast.
I have a quick question for you.
Welcome.
If you're a vegan, how do you know that the wings are bomb?
No, I said my cousin. I'm going on. I'm
I know,
going based
but
off of my cousin's
you
recommendation.
said the
I
wings are
trust
bomb.
He
his
said
word.
fries
I trust
and
his word.
okra up on
Was bomb.
Oh, okay.
But the wings was bomb too, from what I heard.
From what he
you heard. Okay.
Hearsay.
There we go. There we go. Okay.
Word of mouth is very important.
It is. It
Because
is.
they are.
Referrals and everything.
27 flavors.
It's just amazing how you spread out. They're at a championship game. And then they was told to what? They'll
Come
be
to
crazy
the coop.
not to come to the coop.
Yep.
I'm telling you, that's wonderful.
But I think one of the guys that was in the entourage was here yesterday.
I got it in on Saturday and
Yep.
came back on
Yep.
Sunday
And
trying to dump back.
And the way he got here, our mentor who has multiple wing places here in the city
Okay.
was not serving his customers last night because he had a private event.
Okay.
So he was sending them to us.
Oh,
and
okay.
that's how we got him.
Ain't
yes.
that a blessing?
Yes. Hello, somebody.
It doesn't matter what you go through.
When everybody is
The enemy-
operating in their own lane, you don't have any of
Yes.
that extra stuff that we hear about.
Yes, yes.
That's all I want around me.
That's-
People operating in their own lane.
Yes.
And everybody's doing their own thing. They're doing what God told us we were supposed to do.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
It's real easy.
And guess who else we got on the podcast? Haven't seen you in a while.
Baby, and age is like delish.
Pineapples
Well,
make the top
no.
taste nice.
She started out strong and then she fell off. I'm just going to
Ooh,
say that.
damn, they so petty.
I was at the fashion show. That was what?
She was.
I was at the fashion show.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. What was it, about 3 weeks ago?
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, she said 3
But
weeks.
I'm here.
But I'm here. Go back and look at the videos and stuff. She's telling the truth because she was on cloud 9. How she was stepping
Surely
off.
was.
And
I was so excited to be
You
amongst
was.
y'all.
You was.
But we're going to need you to come a little bit more, though.
Okay.
Because we're getting ready
Wait.
to reevaluate some stuff going on.
Oh, wait a minute. Not business at the table. What's going on?
Business first, always. I love you.
Jesus.
It's never personal.
That lets you
Never
know we don't
personal.
hide anything. This is Friends and Wives. We in business. We sitting in my girl stuff now trying to go ahead and get some Crazy Coop. Well, you know what? It's good to have you back. But
Thank
what's been
you.
going on in y'all world?
Just go ahead.
Oh, you got a whole lot of shit today I'm saying on everything else.
Now she want to be
Well, she quiet as
Mom is
hell.
the word.
Wrong thing. Wrong thing.
You know, because this Monday through Saturday.
Oh, okay. This your rest day.
Yeah,
Go ahead, baby. I'm let you
This is
rest.
my Sunday
Fun day. Yes.
Sunday fun day.
And you know what? It's absolutely fun to have Landman in the building. What's
Hey.
going on, man? Tell us
Man,
what's
it's a
going
pleasure.
on
It's
in
a
your
pleasure.
world.
It's a pleasure. Crazy Coop. I mean, why this show is incredible. I really enjoy the atmosphere,
Yes.
the blessing. So I was blessed to be a part of and come in and do something. And shout out to CEO Money Mike. Definitely,
Yes. Who
Miami
brought us
Mike is
all together. Yes.
Definitely incredible person, spirit. But I love your guys' spirit. I love what y'all doing. This is definitely an international program that need to be publicized around the world. So, but what I'm doing, I'm just helping, encouraging blacks and Hispanics how to own land in America. Well, they call themselves African Americans, but a lot of people drop the African and we call themselves Americans now.
My
So
cousin
that's what
don't
they
even
doing.
call herself black.
Yeah,
I
just
be,
an
I be
incredible.
like, you so whitewashed. Just,
Well, it's not whitewash. You got to understand that reparation is coming dramatically in America now. So even me being stationed in Memphis and Atlanta and LA, there's a changing in land. Preparation is moving on. The statues coming. Jim Crow is passing. Now they're excluding blacks from owning land in the United States. There's laws that happened from 1863 that they're reestablishing now in 2023. So if we're not selfish conscious of this, then we're going to lose out like we did before in the 1900s.
you know what? As a new entrepreneur, what would you tell me in order to get into flipping land, buying land, whatever the case is?
Well, right now, just take a blank picture, take a blank canvas, and then you get a piece of land and then you make it what you want to make it.
Okay.
And then you have to understand that zoning is very powerful in the world. So that's the reason why they only have whites in zoning offices. If you notice, there's a few sprinkles of us, papers.
Okay.
They call them pepper. They call us peppers in the office. They actually say that. They say you're a pepper because you have no power. So you're the person who comes in and say you have a permit you want to get. I see you. You're a black, young lady, and she takes your information, but the one that makes a decision on zoning is not African American, it's not black.
Right.
That is the game changer. So I'm encouraging the country to establish hiring more blacks and Hispanics to go into zoning offices, because a zoning office makes up to $80,000 a year.
Okay.
Just pushing paper. for 4 hours a day.
Well,
so let's understand this. It's not fashionable, but it's controllable.
So how can you make yourself attractive in order to get into that office? Because you can say apply and do all this, but the reality is you have to step up and be assertive in a way.
Correct.
In order to even get in those spaces and areas.
Well, the challenge is changing the mindset of urban communities. Revitalizing communities, changing their mindset. If you notice, I'm in Memphis, so I'm going to take Memphis. Cordova, Germantown, and going out free areas, there's not a lot of trash in them areas. But if you go into Frazier and you go to South Memphis and you go to other areas, they call Frazier the New Jack City. They call Chicago new. So them areas look horrible. Right. So how can we change the mindset when you can't even get your mindset to change your community?
And how is it out in LA?
It's the same way. It's interesting that he made the comment about not being able to own land in certain places because in LA, redlining is so prevalent.
Yes.
Black people, Hispanic, Latinx people are forced into certain communities, and those communities are the communities that don't have the resources. So it's like you may have a Beverly Hills, you may have a Compton, and there was a time, and it's not as prevalent as it is today, but it's still going on behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. To where you may have a black family come from a well-to-do family, and you're trying to own a home in Beverly Hills, and you've been denied home loans from purchasing homes in Beverly Hills, but you want to buy a home in Compton, and a lot of these streets and a lot of these homes are ran down and not being taken care of. You're going to get approved there because that's where we want you to be. We don't want you interfering and coming here and cohabitating with these people who we feel like are above you. So it goes on all around the world.
Yeah,
I lived in New York too, and I saw that firsthand.
Correct. Well, I'm gonna add on to you and say that it's called gentrification segregation. That's what it's called. It's called gentrification segregation. I mean, they're separating us based off the value of the land in the area. So if you want to live in an area that's high maintained, which a lot of us live in, we middle class, but the low income people cannot live where we live because it's mindset change.
Yes.
Also, this financial change. The banks are now changing you to get a home loan and don't push you for a land loan because the land loans is more profitable than a land loan. I will get you new home buy programs. They have the FHA. It's designed. The FHA is welfare for homes. That's basically what they call it.
So you mean to tell me I'm buying my home,
Come on.
but I don't own the land?
No, you do not. And that's what the FHA is welfare, but it's reverse.
So I
They
paid
cleaned it
my
up.
house off, and I don't own the land?
No, you pay off your house. You pay your house off to the bank, correct?
Correct.
They have to give you a full deed. Have you ever read your deed?
Read the deed.
Have you ever read it? Have you looked at it? Have you went through your fine
I
print?
looked at it, but
You just looked
I
at
just
it.
assume you pay for the house, you own everything.
Okay, you heard that word you just said? Back up.
Assume.
Yes.
Made an ass.
But have anybody
I
actually
but
read
did I-
a deed of
Did
their
I
home?
comprehend that I don't own the land, that I done paid for this entire house in the duration of the time that I had this loan, and I don't own the whole thing?
No, okay, understand this. When you read your deed, there's something called soil test. And the soil test below, it's a certain amount of feet below your land that you own and a certain amount of feet below the land the federal government owns. Okay. It's called eminent domain. So if they feel that your land is worth a situation to change, they can take your home by eminent domain. It's a federal statute that's been in since 1952. They've been taking land from people since 1952 without no verification at all.
So you're telling me if I buy land, they can't come in?
If you own the land
Yeah.
and you change the way your land is actually perceived, then they can't take it from you. That's how Donald Trump built the wall.
You know,
Yes.
That's a whole nother step.
You know what? I have a question because see, madam,
Why am I working like this?
I don't know. You need to talk to the landman because apparently you're going down the wrong way. So, see, madam is a new realtor.
Did you know this?
And right, are you informed?
Did you learn this in school?
Right.
No, what I learned was
Did you learn this in school?
the home, the house, the structure itself,
Yeah.
this airspace above it, and the land below it. I didn't read like so many feet down. So, but that's what I
Was
learned.
that the classified section?
So past the grass.
They both making the ass of themselves.
So yeah, the airspace above and
Yes.
below it.
Correct. The airspace, the new law that Donald Trump passed before he left, and then Joe Biden tried to rescind it because they had to go through the Senate and Congress to do it. The air rights above your land is only so much you can control.
Absolutely.
But now they taking the airspace away because of the FAA. They have to eliminate certain airspace above your land because they need controlling space to control the environment. So even if you own some of the airspace, understand this, even if you own some of the airspace above your land, you don't even know how many feet it is because it's not in your deed.
Right.
But you have to hire a company that can elevate your land above that. And that's how you can determine who can fly over your land and who can't.
Wow.
It costs money.
So are you going to add that value into your new package?
No, I am not.
And then, how do you go to the regular folks that rent
that's what I'm
apartments
saying.
and they just now starting to buy their home? You know,
Right.
What do you?
Well, the mindset is education. It's about, like, what I do is I do free classes around the country.
Okay.
I help change people's mindset about land. I only do land. I don't knock real estate agents.
Right.
The only reason why I do land, because once you control the land, you can build what you want to build. In order, when you buy a home, you are obligated by the city code and the state code of that obligation to build, frame what you want. On land, you can build what you want. Okay. You can actually, I'm gonna give you a trick. Buy some land, buy 2 acres, and I'm gonna give free game out. Ooh, I ain't giving free game, but I'm gonna give it anyway. No, I don't like giving out free game because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. So get a barn. You can do a pre-structured barn on your land, and you can pay the same taxes on a barn that you pay for a 10,000 square foot home.
Oh, wow.
You just need a small pre-structure of a barn anywhere on your property, and you can get it zoned for that.
Okay, hold on.
Barn.
Let me slow it down for everybody else who didn't catch it.
No, it's called a pre-structural barn, not an actual barn.
So are we finna raise some chickens or something?
No.
You missing the whole value of the situation.
Because we had the Crazy Coop, that's why you take them out of the barn. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Y'all might need that farm for real.
So we've been talking about
what
those
he's
who
saying,
didn't get it.
Yes.
Can you repeat it?
No,
Okay.
hold on. Let me put it in
Thank you.
layman terms. Let me
No,
try.
my layman terms.
Come on,
I'm not
Kim.
talking about you. We got a whole audience.
I'm talking about farms and barns.
No, I'm about to help you out. So you get something.
You
get
You're
something.
not gonna make me think something. I ain't out to La La Land shit. We've been talking about farms and barns.
A crew. So what you gonna do? Okay, so what you're saying is I'm out here, I'm looking at some land, but if I see a structure that's like a barn, then it's equivalent to paying what, taxes?
Yes, you can. Yes.
As a house that is small as
Come on.
10,000 square feet.
Yes, you can add on to a pre-structural.
Okay.
Add on to the pre-structural that and build on it.
And then build. Okay.
That's it.
Oh, that was a
That's the
big
game.
That diamond. You know what? V gotta have diamonds thrown to her. There you go.
I mean, it's education. It's education. But the goal, my goal and my passion is to educate as many blacks, African American, Hispanics to own land in America. They're not making any more land.
Okay.
So you have to own the land in order for us to change the mindset and revitalize the communities. To change the communities, not just for black communities. I want all Americans. Even, I'm going to say this. White people need to own land too.
Okay.
I'm going to say that right out the back. Because we can't just be stuck on our culture when our culture is not forefronted to change their mindset.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
even if we don't change our mindset as blacks, then we have to encourage the next generation. So that's why I have to mention Anthony Johnson. I'm so sorry. Give me 10 seconds to this. Anthony Johnson was the first black landowner in America. I built my vision off of Anthony Johnson. When they showed me Martin Luther King in school, they showed me Malcolm X, they showed me Marcus Garvey, they showed me Maya Angelou, they showed me all these other people, John Lewis and all that. They even showed me gangsters in the book, Chino and all the Scarface. But why nobody told me about Anthony Johnson?
Please break it down.
Think about it.
Anthony Johnson owned white slaves. He was selling white babies at the double prices of black child. Understand this. He was having white people have sex, right, and have the children, and was selling the children more than he was selling them. But he was putting the land in their name, even though they owned them. It's called slave deeds. I want y'all to Google slave deeds. Slave deeds is a record of slaves that's actually on the plantation. But if you notice, the names of the plantation people were white.
Of course.
He named him what he want to name him to get the land in his name. So that's why when you Google Anthony Johnson on Google, you have to type in land. You can't even put Anthony Johnson without typing in land. When you put in land, Anthony Johnson, there's a federal mandate stamp that says he must die from the federal government because he was owning too much land. He was selling white children.
You know what? Every time I see you, you tell us about this man. Why does that fascinate you so bad? I'm
still trying to figure out, is he white or black?
Yeah, because they was doing black and white pictures back then, huh? You can't even.
I'm gonna answer the passion of that because why we talk so much about Martin Luther King?
I don't.
Why we talk so much about the point is why we talk so much about freedom fighters when the original freedom fighter was Anthony Johnson.
So you want people
So
to
Anthony was
know.
white.
Anthony was black.
He was black.
He was a black man. Chocolate, and he was only 5'2".
So you
Wait a
right.
I need to unpack this.
I discovered
He was selling white babies.
white children.
He made the whites have sex with the whites.
Yes, and blacks with the blacks. He never mixed them on his plantation.
You ready? You ready
'Cause
for
it's
the
money.
next
Because it
thing?
was what?
It's money.
And he knew that back when?
He knew that back in 1662.
16.
62.
Okay.
She remember.
And he put. Wait, hold on. She missed this part.
Come on.
Oh,
And
wait
he
a minute.
put-
Or
and he
did you
put-
listen?
No, I'm about to tell you.
Speak it so it can stick in your brain. Come
Probably
on,
both.
baby.
So then he used his white slaves, got them white D's, and then named them in white names so they can be appealing, so he can get the loans and all that stuff.
The biggest
he ran the
P-I-M.
There you go. Break it down for him.
That's what I was trying to say.
I had you. You just gotta let me have you.
She had you. Is it right there on your phone?
Yeah.
Is it right there?
You see it.
Thank you very much. So, and he asked a good question. He said, how I discovered it. I discovered it because I went to Savannah. My last name was with the plantation of the Jones in Savannah. The Savannah plantation.
Savannah, Georgia?
Yeah, Savannah, Georgia,
Okay.
the plantation. So when I discovered the scrolls, I would, to my square brothers,
Real
to the
scroll?
east. Yeah, real scrolls of the actual landowners who owned slaves. Okay. So when I did my research, I went to the archives in D.C. And D.C., you can pay to get privilege of information. So as me being a brother in another life, I was privileged to get information on certain land in America and how it was discovered. Land.
People don't even have that opportunity. So that's the thing. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. You're
But
fine.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's like you want us to know, and you need to do this and all that other stuff. But people do not know the importance of going to Washington D.C. and looking at all the public or the private information that's classified and things of that nature. It's like you want us to do something and say, "Hey, we need to do this," or whatever the case is, right? But then where's our resources that ties us from an educational standpoint of what to do, and then even from a mentorship from what to do? Because you can say here all day, you need to, we got to do this or whatever the case is or whatever. Yes. But, and I know that's what you're doing with your, I think it's Freedom USA. You will give your credentials in a minute or whatever the case is. But it's the resources that's tied to why am I even interested in this, right? Because we've been washed in ways, right, in which we don't even know that is even out there. So it's hard, especially my generation, to grasp us long enough, right, because y'all call us microwave babies, right, in order to get our attention and be just important, right, understand how important this is. And so I appreciate people like you who's trying to go out there and make it appealing. That's all I'm saying. Make it appealing. Give me why. Like, I understand why, but give me the resources.
Well, the reason why, the main reason why for the new generation of your generation is we have to make it appealing on a point of we have to incorporate music and entertainment and all that just to grab your guys' attention. So I am dealing with an uphill battle. I get death threats all the time. I get death threats from, it's called the new clan. The new clan is real. I get nooses on the land. I get certain things. So many emails. I get death threats. I'm not scared of anything. Just letting everybody know. But if I have to be the martyr to understand, to take your generation and say, okay, this is what we got to do. Right here in Memphis, it was called civicsource.com. Civicsource.com, we had 3,000 people sign up. There was city land. Just happened from April 11th to April 13th. There was land bidding at $100 online. I was in challenging people in their own community, buy land. Put the PS5 down. Put the Jordans down. put the weave down. Whatever you got to do, just buy some land because I want you to change community. So I have to keep pushing in order for other people to grab it. I am the lone soldier in this, and I understand that. It's not about money.
Soldiers.
Well, it's just more or less, I feel that the fight is way on my back because a lot of the people that's dealing with real estate and land is about money.
Right.
And I'm not going to name no names, but I'm going to tell you right now on camera, and I'm going to say it clear as day. If you scamming my people, I will expose you because I know more about land than you do.
Oh.
I'm telling you straight up. Stop scamming my people about these programs. Exactly. Yo, Frank, I got the crew. Exactly. So I'm not knocking real estate agents. I'm not knocking real estate agents. Yeah. So I mean, I'm passionate about it because if you really read about Black Wall Street and you read about Tulsa, Oklahoma was not about race. Y'all know that, right? It wasn't about black and white.
No.
The first place they blew up was the deed and land office.
Yep.
They burned the records. That was the whole premise of the whole game. They created a racial war just to get the land.
Yeah.
It was nothing about that. The first person was killed was a white man. It wasn't a black man on Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's why you go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, there is not one black person from the generation descendants even own land in their own city.
You know what?
Come on now, talk to me.
Come on. I'm going to let you cool out for a second.
Thank you very much.
But you know what? They just let you know.
Between you and him.
Oh,
y'all remember? Hey, my name B Baby.
I'm gonna let you know. Seriously, he's crying for help though. He's crying for help. So that means in that case, y'all gonna let me talk.
Who crying for help?
Landman.
Why he crying?
He want y'all to buy some damn land. I'm trying to tell you.
It's over with. They ended on the 13th of April.
No, but it's just the fact of the matter is his cause and his passion. Yeah, his cause, his passion is very important.
Where you going next?
Louisiana, because they always down.
Birmingham is next.
Okay.
The ultimate goal is for us to own land in Hawaii.
Okay, so Birmingham is next, but we need to take a break.
That's what I was trying to get to, but y'all wouldn't let me close out.
You ready now? Okay.
Friends and Wives Podcast.
Welcome back to Friends and Wives. Sometimes you just have to take an executive, administrative, superior decision to get to what you need, and that's why we're here. We're still waiting on Tim K, though.
You took the executive superior decision. Without me.
Will you come on? Looking like you just came back from Coachella. Come on. Come on. Did you enjoy the concert?
I did. Go Grizzlies. I'm back, y'all. I'm back.
Hey. So we got Landman.
Okay.
And we have Mr. L.A. Mr. L.A.
What's his name? Mm-hmm.
Mr. L.A.
You got me. What's your name, Mr. L.A.?
Greg. My name is Greg.
Greg. Greg.
Darling. That's what you do like.
We got Greg, darling.
Greg, darling. Her name is Greg. So tell us something about this. Tell us about your Greg, darling. Tell us about your podcast, darling.
I'm host of a podcast called Speak My Piece, where I basically just detail the black experience, detail my life, so that I can help the younger generation, kind of like what we were speaking about before break. You know, there's a lot of things that need to be passed down. There's a lot of experiences that we go through by ourselves, and we learn just through trial and error. And I know that in my lifetime, I learned a lot of things through trial and error, through traumatic things I had to experience, through things I just had to experience in my life. And I want to be able to pass down whatever information I have to the younger generation so that they don't have to go through that. So I detail things like my mental health battles, detail things progression within my professional career, detailing things like my military experience and different things like that.
Right, but we have a therapist that comes. She's been on several different shows in order to give her professional opinions about cases and things of that nature. So do you have a co-host or?
I don't. I do it all by myself. I have a guest sometimes, but it's mainly just me rocking out for a good 30, 40 minutes and sharing my experience.
Are you on YouTube?
I am on YouTube at Speak My Piece TV.
Okay.
And then on Instagram at Speak My Piece Pod.
So what got you into doing that?
I really just had too much free time.
Wow. COVID. I was not expecting that answer.
Too much free time.
I was so straight out of high school, I went into the military. I went to the Air Force. So I did a 4-year enlistment in the Air Force. After I got out of the Air Force, I went to school. I went to St. John's in Queens, New York. And I was like really accelerated. You know, it was supposed to be a 4-year program. I was trying to get it done within 3 years. And so one summer came up. I usually have classes and the courses in the summer. And one summer came up where I couldn't get the courses that I need. And I was like, well, I don't have anything to do but just sit around here. So one thing I did, I love collecting shoes, so I got a job at Nike. And then the other thing I did was I started my podcast. And really I just started my podcast because I'm not really active on social media. And so I don't have that voice where like I see something going on and I want to share my thoughts on something. I don't have that outlet. And I realized I was missing that outlet. So I was like, maybe this podcast could be that. And from there it grew to me just sharing my experiences outside of things I was seeing.
You can filter in what you want to take and things of that nature. Yeah, because social media can be a beast.
Yeah.
When it comes to, especially when you want, especially when you want to express yourself and how you feel.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what other folks
feel. And we just consume too much. Like I've realized in the past year or so that, you know, you don't really realize what you're consuming because you're just scrolling, but you're taking in a lot. And so this year and last year, I'm like 3 months on, 6 months off. I take 3 months off of social media and just stay off of it and just tend to like my podcast profiles. And then maybe I get back on another 6 months and will be on it and be active or whatever the case may be. But sometimes I don't even be active. I just be on it and be scrolling. But I realize just the power in just consuming things that you don't want to consume. You know, I love social media for the sense of looking at funny reels, looking at funny clips and sharing them with my friends. But a lot of times with the algorithms, you know, you click or you comment on one thing, they start serving you certain things that you don't necessarily want to see.
Changing your vision.
Yeah. And that really affects you.
And so with that, we're going to go ahead and close out the session. This has been great.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the Crazy Coop $71.99.
Stage, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you hear this and view this episode, 1315 Ridgeway, Suite 104, second location, Crazy Coop Express. You got to try us out. No burgers. We're not going to sell burgers there. No sandwiches.
No express on
straight catfish, straight wings, 27 flavors plus, and all of our sides. You'll be crazy not to visit the Coop, baby.
Yes, this is Friends and Wives Podcast. We're out.
This is the Spotlight Podcast Network.